Hey guys, it's Wervin. Still working on this build here, sort of stubbing out what I want to do with it moving forward and designing some of the detail work, but I wanted to just take the opportunity to sort of demonstrate some of the architectural concepts behind this and show you how I constructed them. Now, a lot of this build is really just eyeballed. It's experimented with. I build up some ideas, see how well they work, and then duplicate them around. And it looks complicated, but really this whole superstructure here uses essentially two different ideas. And I'm going to show you how both are put together. So first we'll go easy mode and work on columns. Columns are relatively simple to put together, but even for something like this, I still build it with a guide, particularly for something so macro. And so for all of these, and you can tell by looking over the top of them, all of them are cobblestone cord, because that's just how I organized how everything was going to be laid out. And then it's really just a matter of building up around it. So this column idea uses lots of these sandy blocks. They're from Railcraft. It's basically a decorative version of what you can make a coke oven out of. And I use the main blocks there and then notch it in with stairs to give some variety to it. One of the important considerations here, since eventually I want to have walls coming out of here and possibly cutting inside here so that you can see the wall through that little gap, is how the stairs are oriented to each other. And so I've been making sure that on one side you have just a single stair sticking out like that, and then the opposite sides have three, and you place a stair against a stair in order to get a corner like that. That way, when you come in on this side with a wall, these stairs will still be corners. And then we just finish out the rest of that tier here. And you would take this and then repeat it all the way up. I've used 3 sets of these before starting the archwork, like so. One of the important things about putting this together as well is it really helps, after you've finished experimenting, to count out exactly what you need. And so I've done that in this instance, and I did that once I'd figured out what the arch looked like for all of the others around here. That way, when you start building it, you have exactly what you need, and you know that you've gotten everything in place when you're out of blocks. So if I remember exactly what I'm doing, again, we start building out here with a guide. And I know that I go 1 up and 1 over from the base of, or the top of the column, then 3 up and 1 over, then 2 up and 1 over, then 2 up and 1 over, then up and over and up and over. I think it's 1 more up and over. Actually, I need to look at what I've done with the archwork here. Yeah. Up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, up, 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 up. So yeah, 4 on the straight diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, and actually there's one more. And that would be the peak of the arch there. Second thing that actually happens here is filling in under these, because this is actually part that isn't seen. And doing it this way ensures that everything is lined up right, pretty much. Makes a good way to organize it. And then typically what I'll do here next is go ahead and place one type of thing at a time, according to the pattern here. So I know this comes up here. I think here. I feel like I'm lost. Okay. I'm gonna take that out because it feels like it should not be there. I've made this slightly differently than I did before, but it'll work out. Yeah, kind of running off the guide here, but hopefully it communicates the idea behind it. And then applying that to the other side as well. And once that's done, I'll switch to this. No, actually that's not done yet. These get figured out because they come up to exactly the same height as what's being seen underneath. It's slightly different than I normally do it, but that's okay. And then start applying stairs to it. Like so. Finally, actually not quite finally yet, you have the stairs coming on the sides. This creates the sort of ribbed look to it, and these get applied to the sides so that they become corners. And just pair up directly with the center spine of stairs. Like so. And as you'll see, apart from my slight miscalculation on the sandy block, I've endeavored to get rid of all the blocks that I have as I build, which lets me know that I'm completing what I'm doing. I think I know what I did wrong too. I missed one layer at the bottom. That's okay, the rest of this thing looks fine. Yeah, that's why I have 4 left. I missed another layer down here. That was supposed to extend for 2. But that's okay. And so that leaves us up here at the top ready to connect into other things. And so this arch here and this wider arch here are really the same thing, just inverted. These arches here are exactly the same as the main ones for the entranceways. And that basically allows the whole thing to be put together fairly simply once the design is in place. The last thing I've been working on, and I think I'm not going to build it now that the video's gone on as long as it has, is smaller archways for the entrance into these towers. There'll be one on the second level as well, and after experimenting with stairs and slabs and other things made out of gold blocks, I eventually decided that they just wouldn't work for this, and so this has gone the micro block route. Run over here and grab it, but using a handsaw to cut these into basically partial blocks and putting them together into this archway. And this was largely just experimentation, but the guiding factors, as you can kind of see from overhead, this needs to fit both into the curve of the tower, so it needs to represent a 90-degree arc, or close to a 90-degree arc on the side, and then it also needs to be an archway when viewed from the front. So basically taking those two cross sections, I started putting blocks together, looking for a nice parabolic curve from the front and making sure I had my circular curve viewed from the top, and just fit blocks together until they worked right. And again, building this takes exactly 16 full gold blocks cut up into various sizes. You get the materials that you need ahead of time, you build with them, and you know that you've completed the arch correctly when they're all gone. So I hope that was informative and not too boring, but I thought it might be nice to see. That's all for now. Bye.